What's going on, Fly Above World family? It's your boy Marcus. Hey, I am glad to see you here on this beautiful Monday. Hope you're blessed. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're loving yourself. Hope you know that you are loved by God and that I love you. And I hope you also know there's nothing you can do about it. All right. Hey, today, just want to share a testimony with y'all. First off, let me start off by thanking you for taking time to view our video. Thank you for liking our video. Thank you for even if you disagree with some of the stuff we're saying and commenting. I appreciate and value your time. Just note that we don't take it for granted. So here's a story time, y'all. So yesterday we celebrated my sister-in-law and nephew's birthday. Okay. It was dope day. So with my sister-in-law, we had a meal and she wanted to get some Cold Stone with the family. Now, mind you, she's got about 4 kids. I got about, 3 kids, little ones too. Like the oldest I would say is probably in the 6th grade and the youngest is all the way down to 2 years old. So a lot of kids, a lot of ice cream, a lot of excitement. And yes, the kids was hyped after they ate all that sugar last night. But that's neither here or there. Let's tell more of the story. So we decide we want to go to Cold Stone out here in Raleigh. So we go out here to the Cold Stone, order the food. Everybody's happy. Grandparents is there. We here and chilling, eating ice cream, leaving the place. And, everybody's hugging, peacing, dapping. Everybody say, hey, love you. Happy birthday. Hope you enjoyed it. And blah, blah, blah. And we're all parting ways, right? We're all getting to our car. And out of the blue, this black vehicle comes up alongside near the parking lot behind the cars. And this guy, he rolls down his window. You could tell there's about 4 people in the car. It's tinted windows, but you can see figures. And this guy just yells out to the top of his lungs, right? So of course I had to bleep that, but you can guess by the text what he said. And he was white. This is a white guy, and it was crazy, right? And he slowly rolled his window up, and they just pulled off slowly. And my kids is out there, other kids is out there, just enjoying some awesome ice cream with friends and family. And people just looking at this car, and they curve around the curb, and they come back around. And I'm so in shock by the moment, right? Because, mind you, I haven't been called the N-word, to my face or audibly since I want to say it was 2004. Yeah, when I went to college for the first time in Rochester, New York. Is the first time this kid came up to me, as a white young man came up to me and just said, "What's up, my?" And that was okay, that was a charring moment for me, because outside of that, the only other time I had been called the N-word too by someone outside of, being brown, was that same year, summer of that year. Me and my friends were going out for graduation. We went to a beach out here in Virginia, and this big pickup truck came up full of guys, white guys. You could tell they were under the influence, was drinking. They seen a group of us guys, 3 of us guys together. We were all black, and they're like, blah, 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 blah. And, we're young guys, so of course we're angry, but we know from what our parents have taught us, we got to really be mindful of our emotions and be aware of, how external things can try to influence us internally. So we, as smart young men, we didn't really react because first off, these guys had bats in hand. They had 2x4s in hand. They had beer bottles in hand. And it was about maybe 7 of these guys, 4 of them in the back of the pickup truck and 3 in the front of the pickup truck. And they're yelling all sorts of obscenities to us. And we're standing on the corner in front of the convenience store, and we weren't doing what we were supposed to have been doing at the time. This is back before I really, grew my relationship a little bit more with God. But we was drinking underage, and so we was in an interesting place. But still, the racism and the hatred that was aimed our way wasn't warranted, right? All the way, these 3 moments have been the only 3 moments where I have experienced overt, verbalized racial slurs being put towards and aimed towards me. And every time, in every moment of those, I felt the same emotions of hatred as well, anger, fear, and just like bewilderment. Like it just was just, yeah. So it came to a head last night because I'm with my family this time, and I'm trying to get the kids in the car, and this person screams at the top of his lungs at us, niggers, at the top of his lung, right? He smiles, and the people in the car is laughing as he rolls his window up, and I was just like, me and my wife both were just not frozen, but we just stared at that individual. Like we just stared at him all the way around. And at that moment, we had to also control our emotions as well, because I want to be a good leader for my son, especially my daughters as well. And so I want to be an example to them on what to do in challenging situations. So, and I believe my wife was in the same boat. Like we were like, nah, we're not going to should we let this moment steal like the whole beautiful day that we've encountered, like celebrating our loved ones, awesome time in church, awesome time together as family with multiple families. And, you know, that moment could have changed everything for us. How we reacted really, really, really mattered. And I mean, I could feel my kids, my son, especially because he was next to me. I could feel his eyes. Now, he's 4, granted. He doesn't know what the word means, but in his mind, I believe he's like, okay, do you know this? Does daddy know this guy who's yelling towards him and us? And I can only imagine what he was thinking, but he's looking at me like, okay, what's dad's reaction? And oh man, it was tough. It was a tough moment, y'all. It was a tough moment, but I appreciated the moment. And this is why I would say this, like I rather know who are the racist people around me, right? And I was watching an interview with a gentleman, and y'all look him up. Like, he's one of my favorite people to listen to now. I don't know how he got to this on my YouTube feed, but ever since he's shown up, I've been tuning into him. And he just reminds me of some of the older men in my family that used to sit back, pop a drink, and just talk that smack, talk. And he reminds me of this guy, Charleston White. He was talking about how we as newer generation, still young adults, we are disconnected from our elders. Like we don't spend enough time with them and ask them enough questions, or just even sit down to hear how they made it through like overt, clear racism. The conversations I had with my grandfather, who was born in Sugar Lock, Mississippi, his parents were sharecroppers, and their parents my granddad's grandparents were slaves. And being that close, like generationally, to someone who could touch slavery with his hands, could see his friends being lynched. All of that to say, man, he bought houses. My granddad, he learned a trade. He served in World War II 2 terms, made it home, and had a sharp memory, was healthy, and had countless experiences and stories to share with us that really motivated me. It motivated me. And so all that to say, I appreciate when people show you who they are, because I mean, you could be supporting these folks, giving them your resources, your time, your energy, your money, and we have no idea that these folks hate us. And we would continue to perpetuate them to prosper. And it's like, I'm not a vindictive person. I know that God, vengeance is his, vengeance is the Lord's. His word says it. So I'm not out to get revenge. I just rather would invest my hard earns, sow my hard earns into love, into just relationships that build and that benefit. So yeah. Anyway, all that to say, racism's still alive. They just be concealing it. But that gentleman last night didn't conceal it. I just thank God for in the moment when my kids were looking at me, mom, their examples, we were able to endure just that small amount of overt racism and hatred. And we were able to, not hurl those insults back, not come lower, not to be reduced and actually act like the word. And yeah, I'm thankful to God for his grace that allowed us to just choose life, choose love, choose happiness, even in a moment where it was tough. Hey, know that I love you. Thank you for tuning in with us. And hey, like, share, subscribe to this video. I like for you to comment as well. If you've experienced this type of thing, hatred, if you know people that say these terms, you know what I'm saying, how do you feel about the N-word? All these things. Let me know what you think. Let me hear you. Let me hear your voice. I love it. And we look forward to just continuing to grow together in Christ, in love, in faith. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.